Hello folks, in this guide for Avowed, we will be covering the best gear to be acquired within the prologue. Typically, I'll be giving you all of the best options available, and then I'll go through the most efficient way of working through them all. Of course, given this is the prologue, there is very little variation in path. However, there is one big secret hidden here that I think most players will miss. The main gear we will acquire is the following: the common dagger, sword, bow, wand, grimoire of elements, great hammer, pistol, and round shield, the common breastplate, mail hauberk, and robe, the Vambraces and Deerskin Boots and gloves, as well as a bunch of additional supplies and crafting materials along the way. The big secret here is tied to Ilora, who we will find roughly midway through this guide. We do have some minor spoilers throughout, but this is just the prologue, so it shouldn't matter too much. And other than that, let's get started. Now, upon washing up on the shoreline, the first weapon you will find will be dictated by starting background. The Arcane Scholar will start with a dagger, the Court Augur will start with a mace, the Noble Scion will start with a sword, the Vanguard Scout will start with an axe, and the War Hero will start with a spear. Now, there's plenty of stuff to loot within the prologue. Boxes can be broken to reveal loose items. This isn't entirely obvious until getting much closer to breakable containers. The smaller loose items are harder to spot from further away. However, any lootable containers will glow with this effect, making them quite obvious to spot. Continue through the prologue until reaching your first fight. Once done, follow this pathway through and be mindful of the tripwires. They can be disarmed by looking at the actual base of the tripwire, but not the tripwire itself. Whilst ascending the ledges here, make your way over to this waterfall to find the common dagger inside. Next, continue forward until reaching this building. First, head into this room and notice this lever on the wall. Activate this and deal with the enemy inside of the hidden room. In here, you'll find this chest, which does contain the Vambraces. Next, find this corpse close to the center of the room to find a common round shield and the Fort Northreach storage key. Next, head back to where you originally dropped inside and unlock the storage room with the key. Head inside and grab these goodies right here. Before looting this chest, which does contain the common breastplate. Next, head into this room with the bowl of stew and break these wooden boards to find some hidden lore inside.
These used to be nice quarters.
Upon continuing further forward, you will come across Ilora, who is locked inside of this cell. Whether before or after speaking with her, follow the path on screen to locate the common bow. Next, break these planks and drop down into the room below to find this chest, which does contain some goodies and the common robe. Before leaving, swipe the key from this wall.
You're not gonna let her out, are you?
Head towards the middle cell, unlock the door, and then head inside and into the adjacent cell to loot this corpse and find the Deerskin Gloves. Now, regarding whether you release Ilora or not, it's important to note that I believe an entirely different outcome can play out if you decide to leave her inside. Most players will more than likely release her on their first playthrough, and I've no idea currently as to what effects that may have later on in the game. However, I'm quite certain it will. This would suggest that handling the situation differently will reveal alternative repercussions later on, so in order to get the alternative outcome and some additional loot, either speak with Ilora and refuse to release her entirely, or simply leave without speaking to her at all. It's important to note that if at any point you manually open her cell, this will technically release her and she will automatically ally with you, thus blocking you out of the alternative outcome. For now, we simply just want to continue forward.
You let me out.
In the next area, you'll want to drop on down and head inside the shallows here. Underneath the waterfall itself, you'll find this chest with some goodies inside. Next, head upwards and follow the path around until eventually reaching the opposite side. Here, you'll find the common sword sitting on the ground. Next, continue forward until reaching this region with multiple enemies inside. Once dealing with them, follow the path on screen and head behind this waterfall to locate the Deerskin Boots. Upon continuing forward, you'll find this corpse with the common wand and Grimoire.
Hope there's a fire spell in there to make quick work of the brambles.
The wand doesn't appear to use any mana. It shoots basic projectiles that home in on any nearby enemies. The Grimoire, however, can only be used exclusively with mana. I think each Grimoire comes with its own set of spells. These are very strong and usually have elemental effects. Enemies do turn into piles of whatever elements you kill them with, so bear this in mind when looking for bodies to loot. Upon continuing forward, you'll eventually encounter the boss of the prologue. Upon doing so, if you've chosen to leave Ilora locked inside of her cell, then it will be revealed here that she has in fact escaped. From here, you can alliance with her if you would like to. However, for the intent of getting the alternative outcome, you will in fact want to initiate combat with her by choosing the hostile dialogue options. Upon doing so, the boss fight will commence and Ilora will become hostile. Upon defeating her and looting her corpse, you'll find a common pistol along with some other goodies. Additionally, you'll find this note, which does enter into our journal, and the exact context of the note suggests that Ilora's comrades may seek revenge against us later on in the game. The boss himself will have the common great hammer on his corpse.
Probably some noble who bought his commission.
Additionally, the sarcophagus at the back of this area will have the male Hauberk inside. Next, head inside this hole and follow it through. Navigate over the walkway here to locate this backpack, which does contain some additional goodies. Upon continuing forward, you will shortly complete the prologue and begin heading towards Dawnshore for the first time. That's it for this guide, folks. I am working on the Dawnshore guide already, and it will be out in the near future. This guide has been brief. You can expect full breakdowns of exactly what's being covered within future guides, along with convenient routes to take and tons of useful information to help make navigating the complexities of Avowed a little bit easier. I do, of course, have a range of guides on the channel already. For anyone coming over from the Stalker 2 guide series, then you already have a good idea of what to expect. For anyone else, feel free to check out the channel. We have just started streaming for the first time ever, so if you're interested in an Avowed Let's Play, then feel free to drop on by. Otherwise, thanks for watching, folks, and until next time, peace.